Good morning. Hi, it is Monday. Back to school, rah, for those who are going back to online school. A little bit of normality. Maybe you're doing a bit of homeschooling. Anyway, let's have this time for you to do some Pilates. So, quick disclaimer just to say, please exercise responsibly. If you feel sick, dizzy, or any pain at all, please stop exercise. The idea of this is to maintain flexibility, mobility, and strength. So we're not looking to do anything amazing. Just keep the body moving, keep your sanity intact a little bit, and just give yourself a little bit of self-care while we're in this really strange situation. So we're going to start. This is a mixed ability Pilates class. Work at the layer that works for you. Many of the exercises will have different options, so just choose the one that feels right for you, that you can really do well. That's what I'm looking for. Good form, lots of nice engagement, lots of mind-body connection. Anyway, I will stop waffling now and we can get started. So starting with feet together. You can't see my feet, but anyway, there we go. Let's go back a little bit. So starting with feet together, nice and tall, zipping up through the inner thighs, pulling up through the pelvic floor and zipping up those imaginary jeans as we pull in through the tummy. We're going to open up those toes like a ballerina, followed by your heels. And you want to see that your feet are parallel. So just have a quick look down, feet parallel, pointing forwards, lined up with your knees and your hips. So gently rolling onto the balls of the feet and back onto your heels. So we're just taking the weight forward, shifting that weight, shifting it back, staying nice and controlled, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to take the weight over onto one side and back to the other side. So again, we're just taking this moment to connect the mind and the body, essentially. Slowing everything down a bit. So come to the middle point where the weight is even over both your feet. Press down the big toe, the little toe, and the heel so that you can feel a nice lift through the arches of the feet. And keep those knees soft now. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So tucking the tailbone under and then let the tailbone go out behind you. So tipping and tucking the pelvis, mobility through the lower back. Once we have done a few of those within your range of movement, we want to find that midpoint, and that should then give us a nice neutral spine. So grow nice and tall now out of the crown of the head. So really float the top of the head up towards the ceiling. Watch that chin. Keep it parallel to the floor. Don't let it float up to the ceiling. We want to pull it back a little bit so that you get the length down the back of the neck and a rather attractive double chin. So bring those shoulders up towards your ears, press them behind, and then gently draw them down your back. You're going to actively draw the shoulder blades down as if you're trying to slide them into your back pockets. Nice pull up through the pelvic floor. So that is the muscle that you use when you stop yourself in the middle of going for a wee. So drawing that up 30%. We're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, pull your belly button in towards the spine. Freya. Sorry, that was my daughter. You can tell this is live. So breath in, just about to come in. And exhale, we pull the belly button in towards the spine. So keep that contraction there while we breathe deep into the side of the ribs. This is our Pilates breathing, lateral breathing. Last couple of breaths. Exhale. Right, I'm being distracted a little bit. You can't see, but going behind the camera is my daughter. Very quietly. Anyway, enough. Let's bring myself back here. So Nice pulling through the tummy. We're going to mobilize the body next. So it's breath in. As you exhale, just looking over one shoulder. And we inhale to come back to the center. Exhale as we look over the other shoulder. So mobilizing with the breath. Think about exhaling for exertion. Just mobilizing through that neck. Lovely. Let's do an ear to shoulder next. Last one. Back to the middle. So we can do shoulder rolls or place your fingertips onto your shoulders, and we'll do elbow circles. So just mobilizing through that shoulder joint. Let's change the direction. And last one. Leave those hands down beside. So nice pull in through the tummy. We're going to keep the hips fixed facing the front. It's a breath in. And as you exhale, just rotate around to look behind you. Keep those shoulders down and back and relax. We're just mobilizing through the spine. Think about those hips staying facing the front of the room. Last one. We're going to just increase that movement as we spiral from the toes up to the top of the head. Last one. Let's come back to the middle. Think about lining up those feet, knees and hips. It's a nice pull in through the tummy. And we are going to lengthen through the spine as we bend over to one side. Back to the middle. So think about lengthening through the spine. We're not just crunching down on one side, we are lengthening. Inhale back to the center, exhale over the other side. So let's add in the arm. Increase that stretch. One more. Now let's take both arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to lower through the shoulder girdle. Exhale. Coming over to one side. And again, still think about lengthening. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. Pull in through the tummy. Coming back to the middle. And I want you to imagine that you've grabbed a couple of ropes from the ceiling and you are pulling those ropes down. A little bit of resistance, nice and slowly. Keep the elbows back so that we've got that nice open feeling through the chest. And there's a breath in. Breath in, take the other arm up. Nice pull in through the tummy. Exhale. Again, lengthening through that spine. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. Pull in through the tummy. Drawing up that pelvic floor. Back to the center. Let's grab those ropes again as we pull with a little bit of resistance. We are pulling those ropes down. Watch the shoulder blades. Keep them down and back. Excellent. Lovely. So we've mobilized that spine now. We're going to mobilize the hips next. So keep the Pilates box nice and stable. That's your shoulder, shoulder, hip, hip. Pull in through the tummy. So circling that leg. You can do it with a bent leg, bent knee if you need to, or a straight leg if you can. Keep stable through the upper body, so we're pulling in through the tummy. Use the breath. Let's change the direction of those circles. Last one. You're going to end up with that leg out behind you, nice and straight. Tip forwards from the hip so that you get a straight diagonal line through the body. I'll do this sideways on. So we've got the leg behind, then we tip forwards. Now squeeze through the bottom, pull in through the tummy as we lift and tap that nice long leg out behind you, or keep it hovered and then you can pulse it. So good squeeze through the bottom. Upper body stays nice and stable, and we're still drawing those shoulders back and down. Keep that leg nice and straight and long. Last couple. Then we're going to bring that knee to the front, rotate the ankle one way. Make sure it's the ankle, not the knee that's rotating. And then change the direction. And lower. We can do the same on the other side. So I'll do this sideways on. So nice level hips as we mobilize through the hip joint first of all. Try and stay nice and stable through the torso so we're not sort of wibbly wobbling around as you do those circles. And again, you can do them with a bent leg if you are struggling to keep that leg straight. Also, you might want to use something to help you with your balance here. That's fine. Use the back of a chair or put your hand onto the wall. Let's change the direction. And we'll make this the last one so that we leave that lovely straight leg out behind, tipping forward so we've got a straight line through the body. Good pull in through the tummy, squeeze through the bottom, lift and tap. Try not to let this hip twist, so we don't want any twisting. Try to keep them nice and square. So you squeeze through the bottom to get that lift, and then you have got the option to pulse. Keep the leg hovered and pulse. Nice and open across the chest, long through the neck. Last couple. Then we bring that knee to the front, rotate at the ankle, and then change the direction. And then we can lower down. Lovely. Let's move on to our roll downs now. I'm going to bring the mat a little bit closer. Change this a little bit. Okay. So, standing at the end of your mat in your Pilates posture, nice and tall, good pull in through the tummy. Turn on the front of these thighs, but keep the knees soft so we're not locking the knees out. Breath in. As you exhale, we start to round down through the vertebrae. Good pull in through the tummy to help you stay nice and supported through the lower back. Each vertebrae coming down one by one. So take this slowly. Let the arms hang nice and heavy, as well as your head and your neck and your shoulders feeling relaxed. So come down as far as feels comfortable. You should be starting to feel a stretch up the back of the legs. Keep those knees gently softened. Breath in. Let's restack through the vertebrae. Coming back up to standing, nice and tall. Shoulders want to come back and down. Excellent. Breath in. Let's go again. So each vertebrae is moving independently. So really try to get that mobility and articulation through the spine. And again, come down as far as feels comfortable. A couple of breaths, and then we start to restack. Building the spine back up from the bottom to the top, where we draw those shoulders back and down and lengthen through the crown of the head. Breath in, last one. Imagine you've got an electric fence in front of you and you're trying to round over that electric fence. So pull your tummy away from that electric cable. And then we come down to our third roll down. We're going to stay here and let those arms hang really long and heavy. So you might need to hold on to your elbows here so that gravity is is getting a bit of space in that joint. And then just sway them about. You can make circles, forwards to backwards, side to side. You just want to feel nice movement through that shoulder socket. Don't move the upper body, just through the shoulders. And then we can nod the head as if you're saying yes, and shake the head as if you're saying no. You might hear all kinds of pops and squeaks as you do this. That's fine. Don't worry. It's just a little bit of air escaping in the joints, that sort of thing. So we're going to come forwards now into a seated position. So we've got an option here of either doing it with your straight legs. Obviously, you'll be sitting on your mat. I'm just doing this so I can face you. So straight legs or bent legs. We're going to do a little bit of spine twist. So neutral spine. So we've got that nice tip forwards of the hips. You might want to, if you struggle, if you find that as you're sitting here, you're kind of slumped back because you've got either a tight lower back or tight hamstrings, you can roll up your mat, especially if you've got one of those thick, squidgy ones, and just use it to sort of tip your hips forwards. So we're not, or you can just, just lifting them up will help in and of itself. Or else you can just sit on the front corner of it and it'll help tip your hips forward. So that's an option. So I'm going to sit cross-legged, and we'll start by placing your thumbs, hands together. Thumbs are going to go on your sternum. Your fingertips are going to sit underneath your chin. So you've got that connection with the thumbs here, fingertips under the chin. Nice breath in. Sit nice and tall and neutral. Good pull in through the tummy. As you exhale, just rotate around the spine as if the spine is a pole. Exhale, just drawing yourself gently round. Keep those shoulders down and back, elbows are wide. Spine is long. You can feel the gap between your ribs and your hip bones, and you want to keep that gap nice and big, so we're lengthening through the spine. So exhale to come away from the center, inhale to return. We could also have arms wide, is another option. Exhale, pull in through the tummy, get that nice rotation. Keep the arms wide. Try to feel the sits bones, those are the bones underneath you, connected with the mat so that you don't lift a cheek as you rotate. Keep them nicely, evenly weighted. Last couple. Make sure you've done the same on both sides. We want to be nice and tall. Don't forget that neutral spine. Keep those shoulders down and back to the center. Excellent. Now, taking one leg in front of you and the other leg behind you. This is our mermaid sitting. So if you've got tight hips, this is not going to be necessarily very comfortable for you. So you may decide to sit this one out. Or you could have maybe both legs like that. So we're going to try and get one leg in front, one leg 90 degrees behind you. So from here, we're going to take the leg that is in front of you, the same arm, up and over just to stretch. A nice exhale. And then we'll take the other arm and stretch. I'm going to make this a little bit harder now. So I want you to take this arm in front, the opposite arm, and then this arm is going to come up and over. So we're losing that support back to the center, swapping the position of the arms over. A little bit more challenging now to get that bend. Excellent. Let's change the legs. So the front leg is in front of you horizontally, the other leg is behind, and again, this is going to open up those hips. So we will start by doing the same arm as the leg that's in front, just reaching over, and we've got this hand on the other knee to support you. Try not to crunch down, drop this arm down. Nice bend over to stretch on the other side. Think about having a pane of glass in front of you and a pane of glass behind, so we're not twisting. Now we're going to bring this arm in front, and we bring that top arm up and over. Lengthen through the side of the waist. Swap the position of the arms. Try not to let the knee or the sits bones lift off the floor. Perfect. Moving into our semi-supine position. So let's do a roll down to get there. So nice tuck of the bottom underneath, tailbone. Let the spine come down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time. So we're going to do a little bit of upper body curl up into a bridge. So follow me. We're going to have feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. Bring the feet a little bit closer to the bottom for when we go into the bridge, and have them hip distance apart. Neutral spine, shoulders, draw them down and back. So we're going to start. Breath in as we lift the arms up and over. Keep the shoulder blades away from your ears, so just come as far as you're able to. Then it's a breath in. Rise the arms up and over, and as you do that, you're going to lift the back of the head, curling up onto the back of your shoulder blades, pulling in through the tummy, reaching down towards your heels. And lowering back down one vertebrae at a time. Arms come up and over, and you're going to peel your spine away from the mat and come up into your bridge. Let's bring those arms up and over again while we're in your bridge, nice and slowly. And again, arm comes up and over. Return your spine one vertebrae at a time, and the arms are going to come up. You're going to lift the back of the head, curling up, reaching towards your heels. And again, lowering down, coming up into your bridge. Bring those arms up and over, reaching towards your heels, then nice long arms. Turning your spine down onto the mat. Bring the arms up and over, lifting the back of the head, reaching down towards your heels. Lowering down. So make sure you're still breathing or coming up into your shoulder bridge. Bring those arms up and over, press those heels down, squeeze through the bottom when you're in your bridge. Arms come up and over. Lower down through the spine. Lifting the arms up towards the ceiling, the back of the head. Coming up, upper body curl up. Lovely mobility for the spine. Let's do one more time. Coming up into your shoulder bridge. Arms come up and over. Keep the shoulders down and back. Turning the spine. Keep the ribs nice and soft. Arms come up and over. Lift the back of the head. Pull in through the tummy. Up onto the tips of the shoulder blades. Looking underneath your knees. And lower. Back down. I don't know why I've suddenly scooted along the mat while I was doing that. So we're going to do the 100 next. So we've got that option. When we're doing the 100, we have arm beats. We do 5 beats while you breathe in through the nose. Turn the palms to face the ceiling and do 5 beats while you exhale through the mouth. So we've got the option of having the upper body lifted while we're doing those arm beats. But make sure you've got that chin, a tangerine gap away from your chest, and you're leading with your forehead, because we don't want chin coming up to the ceiling because that's going to really put a strain on the neck. So that's one option for the upper body. The other option is just to keep it relaxed on the floor while you do those arm beats. Legs. Beginner's level is one leg in tabletop while you do those arm beats. Halfway through, I will let you know you will swap to the other leg. Option 2 is both legs in tabletop. Keep that neutral spine. Option 2.5 is one leg extended, one in tabletop. Halfway through you change. Option 3 is both legs extended. The lower those legs go, the harder it is. Keep them nice and long. So don't have this kind of semi-bend. Try to really lengthen them, zip those inner thighs together. So those are your options. And we're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! And hug those knees in. Just let those legs roll from side to side so you get a little massage in your lower back, and you can roll the head to the opposite side. A nice little release through. And finally, let's have a nice full body stretch. Just lengthen those arms and legs. Whew, well done. We're going to do some dead bug now. So, semi-supine position, feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Little gap under that lower waist, lower back rather, flat hand gap. So we've got that neutral spine. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. If you like to have something under the back of the head to help you with the alignment, so you get that little chin tuck, then pop that under now so that we can relax through the shoulders. And it's a nice breath in, draw up the pelvic floor. Exhale, we bring one leg up to tabletop. Breath in. Exhale, we bring the second leg up to tabletop. So nice pull in. This in itself is a challenge to keep neutral spine. Relax through the upper body. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So this 90 degrees at the knee, I want you to imagine that you've got a cream cake behind the knee. And so you're not going to squeeze anything out of that cream cake as you just tap the toe down onto the floor and back. Keep the spine neutral, keep pulling. So exhale to exert, remember. So breath in, exhale, we tap down and back. Keep that spine in neutral, keep firing up the core. So we're pulling up the pelvic floor, we are pulling that belly button down towards the mat. So alternate your legs. One leg at a time. I should have just said that. One leg at a time. Change to the other leg. So exhale, we tap down. Let's add in some arms. Arms come up towards the ceiling, and it's going to be the opposite arm and leg. Keep the shoulder blades down away from your ears. Completely neutral spine, so we don't let the back come away from the mat. You can do straight leg version. Use the breath. Think about the Pilates box. Don't let those shoulder girdle come out of alignment. Last couple. Ooh, hug those knees in. Well done. We're going to do another bridge. So feet flat on the floor, again, closer to the bottom. And we've got the option of using some hand weights if you want. Take whatever you've got under your head out, if you have anything there, for our shoulder bridge. Shuffle down your mat a little bit so that you've got plenty of room to do those. We're going to do some arm circles. So just have a quick test. Make sure you've got that room. So feet closer to the bottom, nice pull in through the tummy, scoop it down towards the mat, draw those shoulders down, and we're going to peel the spine away from the mat. Press down through those heels, squeeze through the bottom. Keep the rib cage soft, and we've got that lovely shoulder bridge. Relax through the shoulders and the back of the neck and the head. Breath in, we're going to take those arm weights and come up towards the ceiling. So the first bit, we're going to do some protraction and retraction. So feel those shoulders nice and wide, pressing down on the mat behind you, underneath you. And we're just going to rise those hands up towards the ceiling. And I'm trying to peel the back of the shoulders off the mat and then gently press them back down into the mat. So you're lifting the back of the shoulders and then lowering. It's just the shoulder girdle that's moving, the scapula behind you, very small movement. Keep pressing down through the heels and squeezing through the bottom so we've got that lovely shoulder bridge. We don't want to be sagging in the middle, so keep pressing those hips up towards the ceiling, but keep the rib cage soft. You should feel a nice stretch along the front of your thighs. Keep going. Last couple. Now we're going to take those arms. So finish with the shoulder blades pressing into the mat. Keep the shoulders away from your ears as we lift those arms overhead. And then we're going to do a nice swoop, semicircle. And then arching the hands up and over. So big arm circles. Take as much range of movement as you can. So try to drag those knuckles on the floor. Keep the elbows nice and lengthened. If you have hypermobility, where it looks like your elbow's bending the other way, just ease off so that you're doing a 90%. So we don't want that bend the other way. We want your elbows to be nice and straight and your arms to be strong. So let's change the direction of these circles, and we're still breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And try to keep each arm the same. So we're often stronger on one side than the other, so one arm might be leading the way. So try to balance them up. And again, working with that full range of movement. So let those arms come all the way overhead before you start arcing them back over. So do that complete semicircle, and then we come up and over. Last couple. Keep pressing down through the heels. And the arms, as they come up and over, they're not crossing, they're parallel. Last one, let's leave those hands overhead as you gently return your spine, top vertebrae first, mid back, and then the lower back as the arms are going to come down to your side. Fabulous. Let's get rid of those arm weights. We don't need those now. We're just going to do a little bit of corkscrew. So we have got an option to do this with a band or dressing gown cord or something like that. So this is an option to have both feet in the air up towards the ceiling. Slight bend in the knees if you've got tight hamstrings. Otherwise, I want you to really lengthen those legs away. So when we're using the band, don't hold it too tight. It's just there to help you, to guide you. So nice pull in through the tummy now. And we're going to stay stable through the Pilates box, which is your shoulders, shoulders, hips, hips. As we just take the legs down to one side, around, and back up to the center. Keep your elbows on the mat to help you, support you. Then we go back round the other way. So it's down, round, and up, and stop. Out to the side, down, up, and stop. Try to stay relaxed through the shoulders. Use that towel underneath your head if you find that your chin is floating up towards the ceiling. So down to the side, down, other side, and back. Your Pilates box stays nice and stable. So this is option 1, to have the band and the elbows. Option 2, take those elbows off the floor. It's going to make it a little bit harder. Your circles as large as you can maintain stability. So if you go too big and you find that your hips are swinging off and you're all over the shop, that's no good. So just reduce the size. We can also do it without the band. So starting with your hands, you could even have your hands underneath your hips. Now this is an easier option. So we go down, round, stop, other way. Relax through the upper body. And again, another option, take those hands out from underneath. Just make those circles as large as you can maintain. That stability. Last option, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. So let's do another 2 or 3, the option that works for you. Any of those options. Exhale to exert yourself. Come back to the center. And last one. Brilliant. Fold those knees in. Let's do one last full body stretch. That was the corkscrew. Right, we're going to do some side lying now. So I've got for you some side kick. So this is going to mobilize through the hip joint, strengthen the hip joint, the ankles. So we start using the back edge of the mat, lying on your side, hips on top of each other, shoulders on top of each other. This arm is going to come directly out underneath you. If you find that you haven't got that mobility through the shoulders to do that, and your arm wants to come forward, so it's more comfortable, that's fine. Bend the elbow so you can keep the neck and the head nicely lined up. Otherwise, you might have a bit of forward movement. So otherwise, you can place the towel underneath, again, just for better alignment of the neck. So we're going to bring both feet forwards into the front corner of the mat, and then we can bend that lower leg or keep it straight, up to you. And this top arm can either be in front of you or on your hip. So again, just work the slightly different options. This one obviously a little bit easier, this one a little bit harder. Nice pull in through the tummy now. Just draw that lower waist away from the mat so that you've got a nice active core. So pull up and pull in, and we're going to lift that top leg to hip height. Flex the foot as if you are kicking a football, and you are just going to pulse that leg forwards, point the foot and pulse it back behind you twice. Flex forward, point and swoop. Keep nice and stable through the upper body. What tends to happen is as you kick forward, you fold yourself up. So be aware of that. Keep the length at the waist. Don't fold up. You should have a lovely stretch up the hamstrings as you kick forward and point and swoop. As you swoop, don't arch through the back. Again, use the core to keep you nice and stable. And we're just going to the range of movement that you have. You might find that you can't come forwards too much. Your hamstrings are too tight. That's fine. You've got to move to improve. So you will get better. Last couple. So exhale, kick forwards, point and swoop. Exhale and point and swoop. Exhale, point and swoop. And you're also really lengthening that leg away from you. So lengthen, lengthen. Last couple. Perfect. Let's now bend those knees, feet together. We're going to do a little bit of clam. So good squeeze through the bottom. Don't roll forwards. And let's just open at the knee and inhale to close. Good squeeze through the bottom. You should feel it deep in the glutes. Try to sort of press forwards, but not with that top hip. So we don't actually want to move forwards, but we want to make sure that we're not rolling back. Lift those feet off the floor. I'll give you a little bit more of a challenge. And again, every time you exhale, pulling in through the tummy so we're nice and strong and stable. Don't let those hips roll backwards. Last couple. Good squeeze through the bottom. For this last one, we're going to stay open here and then pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's change sides. So again, set the body up to start with, straight line, hand underneath or folded at the elbow. Think about the alignment of the spine, little gap under the lower waist. And then we bring those feet to the front edge. And again, straight leg or bend that lower leg will offer you a little bit more stability. So choose the level that works for you, top arm in front or on your hip. So top leg to hip height. We flex the foot as we bring it forwards. Point and then swoop behind. Keep that leg parallel to the floor. So just try to keep an eye on that. Be aware of that. Keep the waist long. We're not folding up as we kick that leg forwards. Point and swoop. Kick forwards, point and swoop. Stay nice and stable through the torso. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, inhale. You might find that you've got a bit more range of movement now that we've stretched the leg out a little bit. And again, lengthen that leg away. Keep the waist long. Last couple. Last one. Let's bend those knees. Keep the feet lined up with the bottom and the back on the back edge of the mat. Little gap in that lower waist. Good pulling through the tummy and squeeze through the bottom as we open through the knee. And closed. Inhale to close. Try to relax through the upper body. Again, we're pressing forwards with that top hip. We're not really moving forwards. We're just keeping that awareness that we're not rolling backwards with that top hip. Let's lift those feet up. Last couple. Let's make this the last one. And then we are going to stay here and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, lovely. A little bit of swan dive now. So we're going to work on back extension. So really important that you have a good connection through the core for this to protect that lower back. So we're going to use the towel underneath the forehead. Bring your hands so that they are just almost underneath your shoulders. Shoulder width apart, a little bit wider to start with than your shoulders. Breath in. Pull up the pelvic floor, relax the legs, and you're just going to lengthen through the crown of the head, coming up on your arms. Straighten up those arms if you can. Now the front of your hips are going to lift away from the mat. We're going into back extension, so then we roll the spine back down. So good pull in through the tummy to protect yourself. It's more about length through the spine. Keep the shoulders down and back. So try not to just fold up from the waist. Think about lengthening through the crown of the head, and we're going into that back extension. Hands can come a little bit closer. So start incrementally extending through the crown of the head, mid back, and then the hands take over to lift you up. Last 2 or 3. Exhale. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Straighten up those arms if you can. Don't just fold back. Think about having a nice curve through the spine. Lengthen, lengthen. Good pulling through the tummy. Last one. And lower. So we're going to do some heel beats to finish, which is going to strengthen up your glutes and your legs. So with the heel beats, We'll do 20 beats to the feet. If you have a look at my feet, I'm going to bring my toes up towards my shins and click my heels together. So I'm flexing my feet and then I point my feet and click the heels together. And to get that lift, your legs are nice and straight and we're bringing the front of the thighs away from the mat. So the work happens here in the glutes. So forehead on your hands. Draw those shoulders back and down as ever, so we've got those nice scapular stability. Good squeeze through the bottom as we lengthen those straight legs and lift them away from the mat. Duck feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and relax. We've just got another 2 sets. So, good. Squeeze through the bottom as you draw up the pelvic floor, engage through the core, and it's duck feet. So lengthen those legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and lower. Just one more set to do. So let's think about drawing up the pelvic floor, squeeze through the bottom, lengthen those legs away, duck feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. Point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, relax. Let's come up onto all fours very gently. Oh, yes. So we're going to go into our angry cat. So pressing the spine up towards the ceiling, drop the head, drop the tail. Good pulling through the tummy as you try to make a big O shape with the body, with the spine. And then we're going to go into cow. So drop the belly, lift the tail. Keep the shoulders away from your ears and keep looking down at the mat so you get a nice long neck. Now let's go back into our angry cat. Arching the spine, pressing the mat away from you. Drop the head, drop the tail. Tuck the tail under. And back into cow. Lift the tail, drop the belly, draw the shoulders back, and look down at the mat. Let's find a nice neutral spine now. And we're going to walk those hands gently around to one side. So we get a lovely stretch. Let's have a breath or two here. And then we can walk those hands round to the other side. Back to the middle. We're going to do thread the needle. So place the arm across the body, lower the shoulder, reach through the gap. Back to the middle. Same on the other side, reaching across the body. Lower the shoulder, bend the elbow, reach through. Back to the middle. Open up those knees, keep the toes together. Reach the hands overhead. And place the forearms on the floor and just lengthen the tailbone away from you. Back onto all fours. We're going to pop those toes under and do one last roll up to standing. So walk those hands back, straighten up those legs. Gently restack through the vertebrae, coming back up to standing. It's a nice breath in. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling. Press the hips forward. And give yourselves a clap. Well done. Monday's Pilates, tick, all done. Go and enjoy the rest of your day now. Whether you're working or gardening or whatever it is. So tomorrow is going to be no live stream. I take a class on Zoom on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So the next live one is going to be Wednesday. Or you can do one of my other videos. So anyway, have a good day, and I'll see you Wednesday if I don't see you before. Bye. Oops, there we go. Yeah, bye-bye.